Well, following 10 consecutive months of increases, Nigeria's inflation rate slowed to 21.34% in December from 21.47% in November, according to data released on Monday by the National Bureau of Statistics, or NBS. According to the NBS's report, despite skyrocketing costs for basics such as and food inflation has decreased by 23.75% in December from 24.13% a month earlier. The NBS has linked rising inflation to a strong rise in demand before the holiday shopping season, together with increased production costs. Well, Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu joins us now from our Abuja studio to discuss further. Chika, thanks very much for joining us. After 10 straight months of increases, Nigeria's inflation dipped in December. What do you make of these figures?
Thank you for having me today. And analyzing Nigerian inflation is always like analyzing a maze. You know, can be very confounding. But we thank God that after the highest point for 17 years, consistent increase for the last 11 months, the inflation had decelerated. So the next thing for us is to, you know, has he touched the pocket, the naira and kobo of Nigerian citizens? Have they felt this this deceleration of inflation? That's the jury that is still outside there. Throughout this weekend and throughout the January, a lot of us talked about the impact of inflation on the celebrations over the Christmas period. And for a lot of homes, the Christmas period was very mellow because of the rise in the cost of living. And we hope that the months coming will also lead to more deceleration in the inflation figures.
So, Chika, we see now that allegedly the rate of inflation in December was 21.34%. That's according to the NBS. But consumers across the country are feeling the pinch, whether it's at the filling station, at the market, at the supermarket, wherever. Do you think these numbers are accurate?
You know, when you use the word allegedly, I knew where you were going to. It can be selective in the figures that you accept from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. You know, they push out a lot of figures. I know also that there'll be this question mark on whether the inflation figures in Nigeria represent the true inflation at the marketplace. You know, because the prices of a lot of things have doubled, have tripled, and so on and so forth. And so people are wondering whether 21.34 actually represents the inflation figure now. Now, my answer to that question is this, that the figures pushed out by MBS in other parameters, we have always accepted them. We'll just have to accept this inflation figure as correct. But I just want to tell you that individually in the homes, we know that the prices have gone into multiples of 2 and multiples of 3.
So tell us a bit more about what this means for people, as you say, in their home or in the markets. These numbers are just numbers on a page. What does it really mean for consumers across Nigeria?
Simple. The minimum payroll in Nigeria, I think, is 30,000 naira. You can imagine that doesn't go very far again. You have seen the report that said that 130 million Nigerians are living below the poverty line. And I think there was a report again that came out, I think this week from the World Bank. I talked about 23 million people, you know, who cannot feed themselves. You know, Nigerians know how to, they call it suffering and smiling. We always have to know how to adjust. And so the land, things are tough in the land. We all know that. You just need to go out there. If you put in the basket the high level of unemployment and then add this kerosene or petrol of inflation, I mean, you know that the distress is very high for the country.
Well, consumers might be shuffling and smiling, as you say, but what does this inflation number mean for investment returns?
I mean, we have constantly in the last how many months now been in the realm of negative return on investment, because you know the Treasury bill rates and other investments are the lower single digits, lower double digits, and then you find inflation at this high point of the 20s. Clearly, you know that the investment returns are on the negative terrain, but that's what we have here, and if you also know that around the whole world, most of the countries in the world now are chasing inflation. But luckily, something like in the US, the inflation is decelerating and moderating. And I have a feeling that as some sanity, as some peace gets a return in the Russia-Ukraine war, as oil prices start moderating around the whole world, things will stabilize. Inflation will be gotten under control. But the fear now is this upsurge in COVID in China. You know, China, I think, is the second largest economy. And we don't know the impact it will have on the recovering economies of the world.
So in the interim, from your perspective, is there a portfolio mix that can help to protect the purchasing power of Nigerians?
What a question, what a question. I mean, you can only invest in what you have, and that's the simple thing. In the short term, you know, what you have is what you have. Interestingly, the Nigerian stock market has been on a good run since the beginning of the year, and we are praying and hoping that continues. That's the first line of investment for a lot of people. A lot of Nigerians were holding cash. They migrated from Naira to cash dollars, but with the oscillating rates of dollar versus Naira, I mean, a lot of people also have lost value in that. So as I tell my friends who ask for my advice, I just say, just hold it. Nigeria will be better very soon.
So let's now talk about the CBN, and the Monetary Policy Committee is meeting next week. How do you think these latest numbers will affect their decision? Briefly.
Oh, we welcome back the Central Bank governor back to his seat. I mean, in your rundown, you spoke about it already, about there's so many speculations out there. But I mean, we thank God for the press release they brought out that calmed the environment. Remember that the last Monetary Policy Committee meeting, the last one was in November, the monetary policy rate, the key rate in the economy, was moved to 16.50 because they wanted to chase, decelerate inflation. I have a feeling that inflation will taper as the months go on. So the rate they had in November, they're going to hold it. I don't think they will change it. They will try to see this increase, this reduction in inflation now will be an inducement to them to hold the monetary policy rate till the next cycle of MPC meeting.
Well, we'll wait and see. Arise News' Chika Mbonu in Abuja. Thanks very much.